We're just two friends who love the movies, call each other every morning.
Hey, good morning, man.
Hey, good morning, man.
How's the weather over there?
It's cold, man. How about you?
Oh God, yeah, dude, it's freezing here.
You know what I
Yeah,
like about the cold?
what's that?
It's clean.
Yeah, I I prefer the cold, but I will say here in Texas, a lot of people get really bad allergies and they get sick because um, Texas is very their weather is very bipolar. Like one day it could be extremely hot, right? And then the next day it's like a day like this where it's just really freezing cold, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like this, it's like the two extremes, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could feel myself getting a little sick, but
Well,
I gotta
speaking of
push
the
through.
cold, I think maybe some attentive listeners who also happen to glance at their screen from time to time will see that we have a brand new abomination
There you
uh,
go.
in terms of what you could see physically. But what I like is that the AI being beefed us up a little bit.
Oh, it beefed us up.
Did you notice it seems like we're like a little, seems like we're eating better and, maybe working out a little and
Yeah, like it's like it knows it's winter time and most people gain weight during winter time.
oh, you think that's it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's it, man. Dude, you're a man of many words. What do you call and what do you call whenever you keep doing something the same way and you keep expecting different results?
Famously, that's called insanity.
Okay. So, and I know we're not a sports podcast, but I just had to mention it because once again, my Giants lost last night, and there was no reason why they should have lost. And I there look, I'm a little sad because of that, Mitch. I'll be honest with you. My mood is a little dampened because this is what happens when you have coaching that is expecting different results by doing the same thing over and over again.
That's what
So
happens when you love somebody.
yes, it's what happens when you love someone. But anyways, you know, like I said, we're not a sports podcast. That's not what we
Well,
do here.
that's
But
right. I mean, I am glad that the Crimson Tide won against LSU on Saturday.
at least that,
Yeah.
the Tide. There, what I feel like maybe was it last season or the season before they were they hit a bump, right? Like they weren't doing as good. Correct me
Well,
if
they
I'm
got a
wrong.
new coach. Nick Saban was gone, and we had a new coach, so it was some growing pains there.
Okay, it's
Um, yeah.
well, I mean the same for my San Antonio Spurs in terms of basketball. They
Oh yeah.
yeah, man, they've gone years without finding their stride, and finally, I think they found their groove again. Like they're winning basketball games. The It's always a good thing whenever you can feel the spirit of the city, right? Everyone is
Yeah.
just their moods are heightened, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's just an overall good experience whenever you have a good team, which leads me into my point of Predator Badlands has made the most opening in all the Predator franchise.
Oh, good. Congrats.
Yeah,
I know
exactly,
you
man.
played a big part of that.
I did. I watched it again over the weekend with some friends. Me and Vanessa went, and dude, it was just as much fun. It's so good to see a good summer, like a good blockbuster movie that people don't ignore. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um,
We,
be, because how do studios respond, right? Like they look at it as money, right? They see it like if this movie makes money, then we're gonna make movies like this. We're gonna make good quality movies.
yes.
So that's always a good thing. I never want to see a movie fail, because ultimately it's bad on us, especially me and you. You know, we love going to the movies. But anyways, what did you watch this weekend?
Well, we had two adaptations that I'm going to say are Lori approved adaptations. She
Oh
reads a
wow.
lot,
Okay.
and she likes when a movie is doesn't have to be, faithful to the letter, but she will get irritated when it seems like there's just some needless changes, or if an adaptation fails to capture the spirit of the
Yeah.
source. We watched Jane Eyre. I think I had briefly mentioned that we started it, and it was very good. The more time you spend watching Mia and Michael just talking with each other with this rich, heightened language, the way they're able to pull off the lines in a way that gives it
Yeah.
aesthetic gravitas is nice.
You
We
you mean
both enjoyed it.
you mean Mia and Lori's new husband?
Very funny. Very, very funny. I guess he's handsome. I noticed, like, I don't know, there's something a little off about him. But, like, it's tough to cast a movie like that because, so my understanding is at least the titular character, Jane Eyre, she's supposed to be a little homely.
Yeah.
She's not a, and so I think Hollywood always kind of like, that's tough for them because they're like, we want to put beautiful people on the screen. And Mia Wasikowska, I still don't know how to say it, is she is not ugly. Uh, they they found someone who is, how to say, a little simpler of face. And then they, did her hair funky and, just tried to
Yeah.
tone her down. Tried to tone her down a little bit. And but
So did
Fassbender, I think his character is supposed to be like a little off-putting too, and he does have that kind of those teeth that kind of jump out at you. Look, I'm
yeah.
not saying that Lori shouldn't have a crush on him, but she shouldn't.
Wow. So it seems like your opinion of him is based off of your jealousy
Well, let's
of
just
this of Lori's crush on him. So
they both did a great job. It was a really well done, and it was the guy who did Beast of No Nation that directed it. I can't
really,
remember. Yeah, so very different kind of tone there, but quite good. And she approved that adaptation. She said that really did uh, gel with the book more than the Orson Welles Joan Fontaine version, which I love.
okay.
Uh,
So they followed along pretty well with the book, right?
yeah, and just not even follow it along. Just they got the spirit. They got what's
I
special
got
about
you.
the book. They were able to transfer, and she also felt that, and told me that this second movie we watched was her favorite adaptation of the source, and that
Well,
was
but before you get into it, because I really want to know your thoughts, right? Before you get into it, right? That because that's the big Kahuna. That's the one that I'll be honest. I've been waiting for your thoughts on it. Okay. Um, l- I, before you get to that, I just want to briefly mention uh, this weekend, Vanessa and I rewatched the Book of Eli. Okay.
oh,
Yeah, I watched that in 2010.
okay.
Um, it was a whole lot of fun. I remember being so blown away by it, dude. Like, oh my god, like the style of it, right?
Uh-huh.
And the whole biblical themes. I was like, oh man, is this a? It has Denzel Washington. My mom and dad approve of Denzel Washington. Uh, it's a Bible movie. Is this a rated R action movie that my mom will actually watch? You know, and I think I mentioned it, but she was like, no, 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 no. She was very like she didn't want to give it a shot, but
Yeah.
dude, after rewatching it, I haven't seen it since I watched it in theaters all those years ago. But
Uh-huh.
God, man, I loved it. It's just it's a great film. It's not perfect, obviously, but I love the many themes, you know. And yeah, what are your thoughts on the Book of Eli?
I really like that movie. I think it's hard for someone who likes the Bible not to like that movie because that movie loves the Bible in an
Yeah,
interesting way, in a way you wouldn't expect. And it's Denzel, who I also love, but it's an action movie. It's a comic book style movie almost. There's some absurdities, but that are very welcome, and it's just a great story, I think.
yeah. What did you think of the whole twist? And keep in mind, people, you know, we talk in spoilers here. I mean, it's been 15 years since that came out. So, what did you think of the twist?
So sadly, I knew the twist going in. I watched it like 10 years after it had come out. So it wasn't as effective on me for that reason, but it's kind of like when you rewatch The Prestige or something after knowing all of the twists, you kind of are watching it with that in mind. So
Yeah,
it had an interest in that way too.
dude, I remember watching that twist happen, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
So
Like
the twist
blown.
is that he's blind, right?
Yeah, the twist is that he's blind, and
Yeah.
Gary Oldman finally gets his hands on the Bible, and it turns up it's in Braille, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, oh
But
man,
did they say basically imply that Washington had memorized the entire King James Bible and was able to recite it to the people who were trying to protect these books?
well, yeah, I mean, he read it every day for 30 years, you know.
So did my great grandmother. She cannot recite it.
Exactly. I wonder if he was like, period, and so like he was including
Well, that's like
every
sort of
little detail.
a Christian parlor game you can play if you're ever in with a bunch of Christians to say like, okay, let's say we get forced underground. How much of the Bible between us could we recreate? And so everybody kind of goes around and says, okay, I've got Genesis 1:1 memorized. I've got John 3:16 memorized. And you just kind of keep putting them in order. You're like, okay, probably we've got like between five people, we've got like maybe 90 verses. Like, oh,
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you my first verse that I ever learned, and I
what is
it's
it?
still, and I learned it when I was like 5. The first
Uh-huh.
verse I learned was "For the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath."
Oh, wow.
Matthew 12:8.
I wasn't expecting that. That's interesting.
Yeah, so that's the first verse I ever learned.
That's funny, and you still remember it. That's one that doesn't get a lot of memorization traction. So I was just expect like a Philippians 4:13 or a John 3:16 or something like that.
I know, I know. I don't know. I think it was one of those where my dad had told me, uh, like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. Oh, just randomly open the Bible and put your hand on something. And
Oh, are you
so,
serious?
yeah.
That's hilarious. That's a very deep verse, and you could think about that one for a long
Well,
time.
well,
It's a strange scene.
the way he saw it, and the way now I see it that way as well. I don't know if you see it this way, but he thought go where God's gonna lead you. You know, like
Yeah, well, I don't think
what's
anyone would argue with that. There's
what
a lot of satirization of the flip and point method that
I
it.
I, I know, and that keep in mind I was like 5 or 6, right? And
I
so
think
he
I can appreciate the principle he was trying to instill.
yeah, he was like I want you to open it, and I want you to this is this is where God's going to lead you. This is going to be your first verse that you ever learn. And so I opened it, and I picked Matthew 12:8, and that's where I landed, and I remembered it, and I've held that on since, yeah, going on almost 30 years.
Yeah, I can't believe we've never talked about this before. It's one of the more interesting facts I've learned about your life in a while.
Yeah, Well, I'm surprised I haven't even talked to you about that. Yeah, that's the first verse I ever learned. But okay, we're on to the big kahuna, okay? So, Mitch, I want you to break it down, give me the details. Go ahead.
Well, I hope I don't disappoint you, man. I, like Lori, watched and enjoyed this adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but it was precisely what I expected, almost to the letter. I expected a Guillermo del Toro movie, with all of that has come to mean, and I expected a very by the numbers what I've seen before a Frankenstein adaptation, which is also what I've got. So, I mean, it's hard to have a bad time watching a Del Toro movie. He's such a craftsman. He's got a great aesthetic sense. It's beautiful to watch the scenes that he puts up for you, the color and the details, the set design, the
Yeah,
costumes, the way uh he loves his performers and he makes them look uh stunning, and
yeah.
interesting and compelling. And so, I mean, this is definitely not a bad time, that's for sure. I I, I just it was exactly what I expected. And
Well,
there was one thing that I was not expecting, as by way of spoiler. I thought it was kind of nice and interesting that he had the monster and Victor reconcile at the
was that
end.
not in the book? I haven't read the book, so
Not my understanding. I haven't actually read the book either, but I've heard Lori talk about it a lot, and seeing I think Kenneth Branagh's adaptation was fairly faithful. I don't think that they reconcile. I think that was a Del Toro device, and I thought that was interesting and good. And the other thing is, I wasn't expecting them to be so aggressive with the bad behavior of Victor. They really didn't pull any punches with how they. I mean, they made him a lot more detestable in some ways,
yeah,
but not entirely. But that I thought that was interesting too, because a lot of times they'll soft pedal Victor as sort of the victim. I mean, they do both other adaptations I've seen have said, hey, yeah, he shouldn't have been playing God, but also they're like, that's a monster, and now Victor's the one that's in trouble, But here he had some villainy to him.
yeah. I like the new approach that they went with Oscar Isaac, and for me he always was on the fence of like almost being campy, right? Like over the top, right? It was like a
Yeah,
perfect balance.
which yeah, which you like that in the Gothic kind of
Dude,
movie.
here's the thing, and I know I hear what you're saying about your thoughts on it, but that it was exactly what you thought. But look, Del Toro doesn't try anything new with this take, right? But that being said, what he pulls off really well.
Oh,
With
and dude, you could do a lot worse than to just have Del Toro keep adapting stuff like Nightmare Alley, just or Pinocchio. Just keep doing your Del Toro thing. I'm not going to complain too much about it.
yeah, I mean, I loved his take. I do have issues with it. I do love the whole part one, part two kind of uh
Oh
aspect, the
yeah,
different
that was
perspective.
I like
Um,
that.
it was so funny because the first half is through Victor Frankenstein's perspective, and that's a lot darker, man. And the second half was just this breath of fresh air. It was simply beautiful. Um,
Yeah, uh,
and I thought Jacob Elordi did a really great job.
I did too. Although my landlord said he couldn't shake the feeling that he sounded exactly like Zoolander.
Oh, Zoolander!
I've never seen Zoolander, so it didn't bother me.
Oh my gosh, that's one of the greatest. But why models?
Hmm.
Are you kidding me? I just said that. Dude, so in Zoolander, I'm sorry to go on a different thing real quick, but David Duchovny is giving them some exposition, right? And
Yeah.
Ben Stiller asks, "But why models?" And then David Duchovny tells him why they're going after models. And this is really what happened. Ben Stiller forgot his line.
Uh-huh.
He forgot his line, and he's just there, and he's like, "But why models?" He says his line again, and David Duchovny just goes along with it. And he's like, "Are you kidding me? I just said that." So one of the most famous lines in the movie wasn't even in the script.
Ain't that just the way?
It's all because Ben Stiller forgot his line, and he was just like going along with it, improvising.
Right. That's
But
good acting too.
anyways, what did Lori think of it?
Like I said, she gives it the stamp of approval. She says it's her favorite Frankenstein adaptation. So
Yes.
she gave it good marks.
Wow. Yes. Did she say anything when it ended, or was it one of those where y'all talked about it the next day?
She fell asleep before it ended, and then she finished it the next day.
I see. She was already exhausted.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I'm super glad you got to watch it. That was one of the ones I was really looking forward to you checking out. Um, I like I said before, I love it. I also think it's out of all the Frankenstein movies I've seen, it's probably the best adaptation. I've been seeing a lot of people saying that he should do a Beauty and the Beast movie.
Oh yeah.
Apparently there was. Did you know that he was gonna make one with
No, I
uh
didn't.
with Emma Watson and Channing Tatum?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, dude, he was supposed to make one.
Well, he
Yeah,
still can.
I mean,
It would be a little bit weird to use Watson again for a separate adaptation.
yeah, it would. Which I'm not the biggest fan of that movie.
Oh, well, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's definitely not my favorite. Oh shoot.
It's your second favorite.
No, it's not even in the conversation. It's uh
You,
yeah, it's not a good movie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
oh, wow. Strong words.
I mean, I'm
I,
just giving you some advice. If I were you, I'd probably skip it. It's not a good adaptation. You
all right.
need to lock my door. All right, dude. Well, hey, I'm glad you at least enjoyed it. I guess we'll end on what is your score for Frankenstein?
I'll give it a nice little 3.5.
3.5. Okay, that's a solid. At least it's a 3.5. That half always always does wonders. It's like, oh, okay, well, at least it's not a three. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm sure Lori probably would have rated it higher. I'm assuming. Um, but yeah, dude. Well, I'll talk to you a little bit later, man.
See you, man.